welcome to Shovelware Diggers. Our dig team is currently excavating the Softkey Shareware 2000 Hit Games 2 CD collection. You can find a link in the video description containing the entire directory structure of this archive. Well, it's been 20 weeks of the show, and here's what our dig team's got for us today. For more information on how to join the dig team, simply head on over to the Patreon page linked in the video description. Now, without further ado, let's begin. First up, Brendan of RetroSwim has dug up WINGAMES /NEWWIN /dare to DRM. Actually, pretty much guaranteed this is going to be Dare to Dream. It's actually a Windows 3.1 game I'm fairly familiar with. Although I'm not sure which executable to run. Let's try this one. Okay. Yeah, it's Dare to Dream. So, hello? Okay, there it goes. That was weird. Okay, I did some testing, and apparently I don't have the right MIDI stuff installed with my Windows 3.1 emulation. And even though these buttons look grayed out, they actually work fine. So, new game. Dare to Dream has an easy mode. Do you want easy mode turned on? No. This is not my first time playing it. But basically, Dare to Dream is just a point-and-click adventure game, but it's interesting in that it takes place from a first-person perspective. Now, there's other games I can think of which do this, like Deja Vu, which was one I played on the NES, though I think there were PC versions of it as well. There's not actually a whole lot of games which use this graphical style. Like, the way it works here is that as you move the mouse around, you'll sometimes get a different cursor, and then you click, and it gives you information, and if you then go to... how do you do this? Actually, if you click on things when it doesn't have anything showing up, it'll still bring up information. Like right here, it's saying the east wall has a lone window on it that a laundry line is attached to. Some spray paint is on the wall. Oh, we also got a pair of polka-dotted underwear. And you double-click to pick up items. So I now have a strange rubber object, which, yeah, that's not strange. And these could be this could be these? Is it this or these? In any case, it says these could be the stupidest pair of underwear you've ever seen. You've never been one to sniff underwear. I'm just going to stop right there. And then you can actually have an item selected that you can use on things. And I think I'm trying to remember the controls of this thing. But yeah, basically double-clicking is what has you do things. Now, this isn't that long a game. It came in 3 different parts, and this is obviously just the Shareware version part 1. But yeah, even though it's a short game, I completely forget how to play through it. Well, actually, take a look at the gradient going on here. Like, I mean, there's a dithering effect going on here. But, oh. Okay, it is actually using 256 color graphics. It's just, it's doing it in such a way that it's using, you see, Windows has this interesting, let me see if I can demonstrate this. If I go into the accessories here and load up Paintbrush, and I wanted to say make a custom color. Windows has this interesting thing where you see how it's sort of got that dithering sort of thing going on? That's automatically handled by Windows. Windows has the ability to automatically dither between a full 24-bit color palette. Hey, that's probably illegal. Well, let me have a traffic cone. And crack cola? I'm not drinking that stuff. That's actually another cool thing too, is I've got these sort of animations on some of these screens as well, so not every screen is completely static. Also, another thing that's interesting with this game is you can actually pull these windows away and just put them anywhere on the screen. But if you make it a mess and you can't figure out how to fix it, you just push this little button here, and it's supposed to move this one too, but it didn't. Oh well. But yeah, there's not really too much more to say about Dare to Dream. Like, I mean, this is a game that, it's not too long, but it is pretty challenging if you don't use a walkthrough. I'd say it's worth checking out if you want to see some of these early sort of graphic adventure style games on Windows, on the Windows side of things. This one in particular was done, was done by Epic Mega Games of all companies. In fact, it was primarily done by Cliff Bleszinski, which I'm pretty sure you guys recognize his name. But I think this is one of his first projects for Epic as well. I could be wrong about that, but... I also like how when you get to this screen here, it says, I'm going to order right now, as your OK button. Well, it looks like Robert Allen and Tim Sweeney had something to do with this as well, so... The only thing with this game is that it is kind of expensive, but then this was back in the day when adventure games like this could still sell for this much easily, so... You know, $30 may seem like a lot back then, but it really wasn't. Not for a game like this. Especially when you could go to a gaming store and buy similar PC games for like $60. So yeah, not too much more to say about Dare to Dream. So the shareware version is definitely still out there. So if you guys want to check it out, it shouldn't be too hard to find. But getting it running in a Windows 3.1 emulation like this, a little trickier, but not impossible. Next up, Sean E. has dug up DOSGAMES /board/CANDYLAN. I'm going to guess a board game version of CANDYLAN. Psi, CDY, I, and P? What? Let me actually type out the batch file, just in case that makes sense of what those executables are for. Okay, so one of them is for demoing, I'm guessing, and then the other one is for playing the game. Interesting. There's also a read... Well, not a readme, but a let's read. .first. File was downloaded from a... Okay, so... This was clearly distributed over a BBS of some kind. Whether it was a legit BBS or not, I have no idea, so let's just try playing it. By GameTech? Eh? That can't be right. Or maybe it is right, but it sounds like it's dying, so let me see if I can fix this. Interesting. So this almost looks like it's actually an actual official product here. Of course, clearly ripped for whatever BBS this came from. So now we've definitely seen our first wares on this disc here. Unless this was released for freeware at some point or something, but I can't imagine that being the case. So, yeah, 1988 Milton Bradley Company. Oh, and it looks like we actually have a story here. Does the actual CANDYLAN board game have a story? These graphics are terrible. But, like, I mean... I guess it depends on the age of the game, because, like, there weren't a lot of graphics programs out there in the early days, so... It actually looks like there's quite a bit of story to this. Yeah, the story's still going. Actually, now I'm starting to wonder what the actual age range for this program was intended to be. Well, the graphics are still going. We still got more story here. The music restarts every time I advance to the next scene, which is kind of annoying, but... When does this game start? There is so much story here for what I remember being one of the easiest board games to ever play. Oh, now we don't even have graphics anymore. Okay, finally, it looks like we're getting somewhere here. So this was definitely an official thing from the looks of it. And now we've gone to DOS again. Flashing cursor. You know, that probably explains why I couldn't quit back to DOS. A lot of games designed for early childhood are made in such a way that it's not easy to escape from them. That way the child can't get back into the operating system and start screwing things up. Oh yeah, this looks like a very weird kind of Candyland. It's reading the arrow key. Escape keys there. So, I will be me. My age? This will be a computer player. He can be 1. Electra's one of the computer players. She can be 0. Can't be 0. Can be 9. And one more computer player. Biter 2. He could be 42. Perfect. Okay, so it looks like we've started the game here. Yeah, this is even the rules I remember. The youngest person when playing CANDYLAN is the one who gets to go first. This is actually going really slow. Okay. So the graphics are kind of weird, but you know, the funny thing is that this is, given the simplicity of CANDYLAN, this is probably, like, just basically gonna play itself. She got to remove 1 space. So is it finally my turn? Because I had to end up going last. So you basically just hit the enter key to take a card. Wow. So when it's your turn, the way it works is you push a key to pick a card. Then you push a key again to dismiss the card. Then you push a key, like when I say a key, I mean any key on the keyboard. So you push any key each time to move 1 space, and you keep pushing keys until you get to where you're supposed to go. It shows the little stop sign with legs, and then you push a key and your turn's over. That is the game. So by extension, this is impressively one of the least complicated yet most graphically intense games from the CGA era. Like, jeez. And when the computer's playing, you have to just wait. Like, you can't do anything. Yeah, there really isn't a lot to say about this. Like, I mean, what you're seeing right now is the extent of the gameplay. I mean, even the CANDYLAN board game, this is basically it. You pick cards, the cards show you colors, and you move until you hit that color. Now, I noticed there's double color cards on here, which means you can move past the first one and then hit stop on the second one. I don't know if the original CANDYLAN had that, like maybe like different versions of it did, but that wasn't something I remember. But yeah, the game is so simple, and like they built it up with this massive story at the beginning. Oh well. So there you go, that's CANDYLAN. The official CANDYLAN, made for computer systems. It is, well, I don't know, for some... Ooh, hang on. I'm about to get a shortcut here. Okay, so as I was saying, that's CANDYLAN. Plays just like the board game, except it has this massive backstory to it now. And is otherwise extraordinarily simple. This is not something the average person is going to want to sit down and play, but I think for a child in the 80s, this probably would have been a really neat thing back then. For our last dig today, Michael Madsen's dug up DOSGAMES /cards /ZEEK'S. I didn't even know you could put an apostrophe in a file name and get away with it. So... well, it looks like a Blackjack game. There's a lot of BAS files. Well, if we actually look at the sizes of those BAS files, they're probably not basic files, like basic programming language, just from the simple fact that so many of them are the exact same file size. But then look, there's even a... I don't know. This is going to be interesting. Blackjack. Warning! Okay, you can stop now. This program contains material which may be offensive to some users. Thank you very much, Zeke and Ray. Proof that even back then, people were doing stuff like this. Wow, I was not expecting that at all. So what have we got here? Oh, we got some... Well, it's going a little too fast, but... So this is definitely written in BASIC. Well, I slowed the cycles down, so it's definitely a lot better now. Huh. I'm very curious now. Zeke would like to know who you are. I am me. You must have an account before Zeke lets you play? So maybe this is Blackjack. I already gave you my name. Needs to know a password. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is this correct? Yes. Thanks, Zeke is making an account for you and didn't give me time to read that. Welcome to Zeke's Blackjack. Zeke greets you to his latest new way of making money. This game of Blackjack plays just like the real thing, except splits are not allowed. Well, that was just too complicated for Zeke. What do you expect from a first-grade education anyways? Okay, so that's not a good sign. This is clearly something that somebody made just as they were learning to program, otherwise they would have gone to the effort of figuring out how to do splits. Okay, there it goes. The code for Zeke's Blackjack was made with Microsoft's Quick Basic version 4.5, which it would have had to have been if it's in an executable format. The program was made on a Tandy 1000 RLX hard drive system with a 286 and 10 MHz processor with a VGA adapter. Well, at least we have an idea of how fast the game... Actually, that kind of makes sense, because I had to turn the cycles down to about a couple thousand. So... Betting table. Alright, Ray, how much do you want to bet? I put in my name as Gemini, not Ray. Jeez. Minimum bet's 25? Well, let's bet 25. Okay, suddenly EGA graphics. Oh, and it's not even, it doesn't even have me referenced by name there, it just says you. Anywho. Computer's showing an 8. Hit or stay? I got a hit. 15. Got a hit. 17. I'm gonna stay. Darn it. Who do you think you are, Pee-wee? What? Okay, this game had a sort of warning at the minimum... Wait, the minimum bet changes depending on how rich you are? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, we'll do 50. 9-2 deal... That's definitely a hit. 9-2... 5... Okay, it actually says 16 right there. Oh. That's a hit. No. Yo, dork, who taught you how to play Mr. Rogers? So the game, like, insults you anytime you lose. I should point out I'm not an expert at Blackjack, but... Yeah, for some reason it thinks my name is Ray, even though I clearly typed in my name there. Oh, the game doesn't even do the whole insurance thing. And of course he's got a blackjack, which... Duh. Here's a tip, don't ever go to Las Vegas. There you go. Finally lost... The computer lost one. Zeke's thugs rip a new place of excretion for your body? What? So, you get insulted if you lose, but you get injured if you win. And it's all done with text, and this is actually pretty poor as far as blackjack games go. Well, let's just get this over with. Betting the farm, huh? Zeke likes that. Oh, good. Let's hit. Hit. No. You suck. Game over. Press any key to continue. Okie dokie. Lose a... Wow, this game is extremely mean-spirited. So yeah, that was ZEEK'S Blackjack. That did not play very well as far as Blackjack games are concerned. It was, first of all, constantly switching between graphics modes is never a good thing to be doing to begin with, but the fact that the game insults you and then it doesn't make you feel like you're winning or making progress, it's like the game is intentionally designed to make you mad. But whatever, there's better Blackjack games out there than this one, but I get the feeling, just from the way this was set up and the fact that source code was included, that this was more just like a project for the guy wanted to do, and he wasn't really trying to make any money or make anything spectacular. So to that end, he accomplished a game. He just accomplished a game that I don't want to play.